Straight through and under the post, the Army hit back. And it's straight over for a try, early doors for the Navy. That ball goes out wide, it is going to be another try for the RAF.
Hello and a warm welcome from a sun-drenched south coast as Burnaby Road stages the opening round of fixtures in this year's Inter-Services Rugby League Championship. Defending champions, the Royal Navy men are about to face the Royal Air Force men as they hope to get their campaign off to winning starts. Let's find out how both sets of players have been preparing for this monumental fixture.
Personally, I'm absolutely buzzing to be back. I injured myself against the Army earlier on in the season. So this will be my first fixture back, and I've just been buzzing and excited ever since this fixture got announced. Yeah, we came together on Saturday, and straight away we've gelled really well. We've got most of the players that we had last year, and we're proven to be a successful group. So to have everyone available again for this week is really quite important, and it's great to see.
Yeah, so our team, it's looking very good. It's different. A few of our players are out coming back for deployment and that, so they'll come back on like Thursday, maybe Friday. But right now our team's looking very strong. I'm very happy for how Friday's going to run out. Second day in training, and we're already looking so sharp.
And how quick of a turnaround is it to get prepared for the inter-services, considering you've got your own working day jobs to consider as well?
Yeah, it's quite a quick turnaround to be fair, especially like lads coming straight off deployment, coming straight here. Myself, I'm off straight onto deployment after IS, so it is a quick turnaround, and a lot of it is expected of you, but boys happy to wrap and come through, so yeah.
And what do you think has made the biggest difference over the last couple of years that the Navy have been able to put the challenge to the Army and win the double titles and potentially go for the treble this year?
I think again it's that cohesion we got off the field as well. The lads they know everyone's families, they know the kids, and that helps a lot when you're on the field. And on the field we do the basics really well. We train just basics, and again into services when it comes to backs against the wall, and when the lads are blowing, they're hanging out in their own line. Again, it's the basics and it's the cohesion that gets through the game, and we've been really strong in that in the last 2 or 3 years.
And what would it mean to win the treble this year?
Oh, it'll be amazing. I mean, obviously, I don't think the service side has done it for a while. Again, to be honest, we've not really spoken about it. We take our next job as it comes, and our next job is the RAF on Friday.
Everyone's always excited for inter-services football, and lads have been looking forward to it all year, so it's finally come around, and yeah, we're buzzing to get going.
How are things looking on the training pitch? Because obviously you've been out here today in the wind and rain. It's probably what you want though, isn't it? To challenge yourselves as much as you can.
Yeah, so obviously it's perfect to train in these conditions because we don't know what the weather's going to be like on Friday night. So yeah, to train in these conditions is exactly what we need. No point training all week in the sunshine and then it's raining on Friday.
How are the set pieces looking and the sort of formations coming along? Because I'm sure by this point you're kind of, positions are nailed on and your full strength side.
Yeah. Luckily enough, we've been together all year and we've kind of had the same kind of team for every camp we've been in, so the lads are gelling together and yeah, we look real sharp for Friday.
What do you expect from the Navy on Friday in terms of the challenge that they'll bring?
Oh yeah, they're a good side. Obviously they won it last year and stuff, and they're a big pack, and I think they play to that strength where they try and bully teams up the middle, and we've just got to deal with that, and then we'll play with some flair, and that's our threat, and they've got to deal with that. We kind of just worry about ourselves and hope they're worrying about us rather than us worrying about them. You want to start well, but these games are never really blowout games, so as long as you're within touching distance within the last 10-15 minutes, the game can go either way really, so we'll just make sure we're in the contest and yeah, we'll just let the result take care of itself. To represent the service is what it's all about. It's the highest level you can play within the military, so everyone wants to pull on that jersey, and it's always a fight for places because everyone wants to say they've got that first team cap in an inter-services fixture, so yeah, it's always a big pride when you stood there singing that national anthem and you're ready to go.
Great to get the thoughts then from both camps ahead of this fixture. The players will be coming out for the national anthem. What better time to join our matchday commentator, Kath Brazier, and she's joined by Richie Metcalf.
Well, thanks to Jules there for some opening here for another action-packed evening of rugby league. We've had a fantastic women's game here at Burnaby Road, and we're going to go straight into the senior men's game. We of course also had an academy game earlier, which was won by the Royal Navy 28 points to 12. And just like Rose Dixon joined Jules, I've got someone who knows a lot about rugby league and has been on this airwave before, Richie Metcalf. It's great to have you on board. I believe you did it once, and now either we can't get rid of you or you can't get enough of it, but welcome again. Tell us who you are. What's your name and where'd you come from?
Yeah, there's a game show in there somewhere.
Always is.
Yeah, Richie Metcalf. I actually played with these guys. Actually coached Darren Bamford, a good friend of mine and former player. Left the Navy in 2016. Into services first win back in 2014, so it's a 10-year anniversary this year of our first after a while win.
I think,
yeah,
going back to 2008.
Going back to 2008 before that. So we spent many years trying to work out how do we actually crack this nut, and we did it in 2014, and then of course went on to do it again the year after.
Well, interestingly, we're kind of in we're in a similar situation with the Royal Navy this year. They're two-time, I want to say world champions. Obviously, we're not American.
Well, they beat the Aussies recently.
Well, okay, fair enough.
That's okay.
Fair enough.
We could try that.
They are two-time inter-services champions, and of course, they met the RAF earlier this year in the Challenge Cup as well.
Yeah.
But it's you might not know, but 3 in a row is a little bit special, isn't it?
Yeah. There's some sort of magical kind of mystery around 3 in a row, the three-peat or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I reckon the boys will think about it. They will have talked about it, but it won't be part of any team talks. It won't be any.
No.
It won't be on their minds right now. It's a cliche saying they're just going to beat what's in front of them, and they beat the RAF previously, and they need to do it again.
Yeah, and I think interestingly, the game last year, I think was it in that? Yeah, it was in that game that Ben Taylor was sent off. It was, when you say feisty, we think rugby league's feisty anyway, but when you got 2 players being sent off in a game, there was a lot of bad blood, safe to say, in last year's fixture.
It's a strange one, the RAF game. to be honest. And this is
Different to the army.
It's different to the army in so many ways, because everybody thinks about the army and the navy as the
Right.
old kind of enemy, but the RAF are always there in the background as the kind of, I'm hesitant to say poorer cousin, but the ones who will turn up and really cause a banana skin. They'll slip you up, and they know that as well, and they'll use that to their advantage. And I think, yeah, Ben puts his heart on his sleeve. He's a very feisty player, very hard player. It's incredible to see how he's still going at this age for this long.
What is his age? It's hard to tell because he looks about 12.
To be honest,
he's got such a young face.
He does. He's a good-looking guy. He's very.
I didn't say that. I just said young.
Okay, well, I said that. I'll take that one. No, he's the captain. He leads by example. Sometimes, you shouldn't push it that far that you get carded. But I've been there in the past, so I can't really bag him for that.
Let's talk about. I mean, interestingly, you've got history with Hutch, who is the RAF. We'll talk about Darren in a minute, who's obviously the Royal Navy men's coach. But Hutch, as of this year, is the new RAF men's coach. What a player he was!
Yeah, Hutch.
But you're maybe not the best of friends.
Hutch is a great. Hutch was PT. I think still probably is PTI. Very fit, very athletic, really tall,
very
strong.
Tall, yeah.
He's one of those players that you thought probably shouldn't be playing in the position he is.
Yeah.
But did a really good job of it. And we always, as the Navy team, we always tried to target him. And there was a particular occasion on this pitch where I probably targeted him in the wrong way, much like Ben Taylor, and got sent off.
And John Knighton was there to witness it, and he rubbed it in your face.
John's done that several times. But no, Hutch was a great player. Played combined services, GB, and I'm sure he's going to be a really good coach. I hope he's on the losing side tonight.
Yes, Darren Bamford, good friend of yours, and obviously a teammate of yours as well in the day.
Yeah, Bamf's came into the Navy from St Helens and Salford. Salford. He was a Super League player, and he came in under this kind of cloud. He'd had some injuries with Salford, and he came to us, and he turned it on instantly. And we knew straight away when he turned up that he was a good player. He's been an incredible player all his career, and he's a really down-to-earth kind of coach. He's not a big talker. He will stay close to the lads. He does everything for the lads, and again, cliche, but he's done quite well as a coach. He's just beat the Aussies on tour. He beat the RAF in the Challenge Cup.
Yes.
And he's going to be potentially the first coach to go on for a long time and do 3 in a row. That takes some doing.
Yeah, it's hard to take the Navy out of the commentator, unfortunately. But
Sorry,
it's fine.
Sorry.
We're on home ground here, so we'll allow it, Richie.
You can get away with that.
But obviously, when it comes to rugby league, I'm going to definitely bow to your greater intelligence, because I'm just here as a voice. So I fell in love with rugby league on a UK Armed Forces tour when they went out to the Festival of World Cups out in Australia in 2017, and I put my hand up. I was a union lover, and still am, don't get me wrong.
Me too.
But once you understand, it's like cricket. Once you understand it, you love it.
Yeah, there's a common saying in rugby, we're divided by a common language, right? It's the same shaped ball. In most cases, the same shaped players.
Yes.
But very different nuances. It's an interesting game. It's played through the summer. It's played at its peak at this time of year. It's a really fast. It's different.
As the players now come onto the pitch, of course, the Band of Brothers, the Royal Navy in the dark blue and white stripes, and the RAF in a lovely, got all the colours on that, a bit of light blue, bit of claret, but easy enough to tell them apart. And there have been a lot of hyping up, I think, in the dressing rooms prior to the game, Richie.
Yeah, the guys will be hyped up. I think you can just see now in the Royal Navy stance, shoulders. The side to side, shoulder to shoulder, they're all looking quite composed. It's quite a poignant night for them. I'm sure you're going to talk about that, but
yes,
there's something special tonight.
Well, as they're all lined up in front of us, let's go through the Royal Navy lineup to begin with. Just the first 13 that are playing, and I'll count down from fullback. We've got Ben Chambers. We've got Daku. Okay. Daku. Sean McCurvell, Gavin Duffy. Turaroko Kurasasa, Jack Bartlett, Luke Baird, James Tex, James Tilley, David Brown, Brodie Butler at vice-captain, and Charlie Matheson there on the second row, and Ben Taylor, of course, at loose forward as the eponymous skipper that he is, the Yorkshire poet. We'll quickly go to the RAF as well. We've got the very impressionable, well, not impressionable, very impressive Kieran Prescott at fullback, Joe Thresh, Joetti Tapea, Adam Potter, Finn O'Brien, Liam Bradley as captain, Cam Lees, Christian Burns, Ewan Makinson, Adam Middleton, Nath Barker, Harrison Ray and Sam Roberts. We got 2 debutants in that, Finn O'Brien and Harrison Ray coming in, and there's also another one on the bench. So what a match to make a debut in.
Yeah, you've got to be good to make a debut against the Navy. So let's hope that all of them can deliver.
It's being thrown in at the deep end, but probably the only way to learn what inter-services rugby is about.
Yeah, sink or swim. Sink or swim. I don't know how many of the RAF lads can swim. The Navy lads certainly can. We'll see.
Well, let's hear them sing first, the national anthem.
Sounded in memory of Lieutenant Rodri Lation, who lost his life recently, as well as SAC Scott Stevenson, who we remember on this, the 5th anniversary of his passing. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
the last post there, and a minute's silence for two outstanding men. Of course, Scott Stevenson, who lost his life 5 years ago after following an inter-services fixture, and of course the Royal Navy officer who died in the Merlin accident, named as Lieutenant Rodri Leishon, and he was part of Commando Helicopter Force. And I know that that's somewhere you worked as well, Richie. So two very significant sort of memories there as well.
Yeah, when Scotty passed away, it was a huge shock. Really sad. You know, losing a life on a rugby field is really sad. But Rod was part of Commander Helicopter Force, my old unit. He came through the ranks. He went into pilot as an officer. Every single rank he went through, he shone, and he was a great guy, and he was hugely respected. And you know, I feel for his family. My thoughts are with his family and with everyone down at Commander Helicopter Force.
Well, in their memory, let's hope that this is another fantastic game between the two blues of the military, the RAF and the Royal Navy. And it was a kick-off for the Air Force, which means it's now in Navy hands.
Bit of a strange kick-off.
Quite flat.
Yeah, a bit flat. You tend to go deep on those ones, but that might be a tactic. Who knows? Let's see how the Navy come.
What are you looking for? I mean, the Navy women in the previous game made such an impact in the first sort of 15 minutes. You kind of want to sort of make that impact, don't you?
Yeah,
or do you don't want to
well,
maybe.
It's the first game. It's the first game, right?
Obviously, yeah.
And the thing is, you know, this isn't the first game of 6. This is the first game of 3.
Yes.
This is the first game of 2 that you'll play.
Yes.
You want to make a real impact. You lose against the RAF and it could all be over.
Yeah.
You know, so you do want to make an impact in the first 5 minutes. And there's 2 really good hits. The Navy are going to want to make an impact. They'll send the big lads through the middle and they'll test them. And we'll see what happens on the edge, which is what you're seeing right now.
Barrelling run there.
Yeah, Charlie Mattison just in really good shape. It's probably the best I've seen him. I know that he's going for his PTI training soon, so it's probably why you've seen him in the shape he's in. But interestingly, looking at the two teams as they lined up, that's unlucky. Looking at the two teams as they lined up, the Navy look all about the same size.
I know,
all really big, tall lads.
Yes, they're a tall side.
Yeah, which is odd. I never was that. I was never that shape.
What are they feeding them these days, Richie? What are they feeding them? So there, the Navy penalised when they were in a pretty good position, and so it will be a scrum to the RAF.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate knock-on from Tilly there. He's lifted his head trying to see where to pass, and he's probably just gone a bit too quick. Let's see what the RAF have got.
That's good. We get to see the big lads running through the middle early on in this game. And it's that skin to skin that I love in rugby league, the slams.
There
you
is
don't
that
hear
sound.
it in any other sport.
You do. You hear it more so in rugby league.
Yeah,
definitely. Trust me.
I do.
Yeah.
Who are you expecting to sort of shine? I mean, I appreciate you probably know more about the Navy side, but any of the RAF players?
Well, I'll talk about the RAF in the first instance. Kieran Prescott is wanted by a lot of clubs.
Such an impressive
outside
player,
of military rugby. Kieran Prescott is, he could play professionally. That's unlucky.
Another mistake there by the RAF as we were praising them.
Yeah. Liam Bradley. I actually played with him. He was a young kid when I was still playing, but he's been around for a very long time. He's a good operator. He's solid. He'll be the old head. He'll be the old head. From the Navy's perspective, Tilly just making a tackle there. The halfbacks Bartlett and Baird. For us on debut, RAF inter services, it's a really tough game. But I think the halfbacks are the pivotal people tonight. Fullback Ben Chambers. Just incredible. I mean, he's rugby union, rugby league, every time.
And football. He's still got the football skills as well.
Mr. Dependable.
So the RAF with first big inroads into the Navy defence there over here on the right-hand side. And Bradley going for the corner. That's pretty high up. Oh, but a bit of loose ball, but the Navy have capitalised.
Yeah, that's fine. They'll test them. I think that might be an option. They're going to try and test out Daku. He's a very erratic player.
Okay.
But in so many ways, that's a good thing.
Yes.
It can be good and bad. But you see there, he'll go up one-on-one and Unfortunately, he didn't get the catches as well. It's a really good hit by Ben.
But I imagine he backs himself. He looks like he backed himself to get that flare catch in the air.
Yeah, you'll see what happens here is they're going to try and test them on an edge. They'll test the channel, and they'll probably kick to the same channel. They'll come away from it once, and they might come back.
David Brown there taking the ball into contact.
So this is them coming back, as you see.
So is this all straight from the Darren Bamford playbook?
I mean, yeah, Darren will use a similar tactics to a lot of rugby league. That's probably not the kick they wanted, but we'll take it.
Bit too much on it, but
the important thing with a kick is always as good as its chase. That's quite a good chase. You know, they've got the tackle inside the 30, so you know they've completed, which is good.
And just I know that we obviously get the shirt numbers in, but important to note obviously that Kieran Prescott is in 25 today, and that's because they retired Scott Stevenson's number 1 shirt.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
didn't know that.
I believe they retired
nice
it for, well, I imagine for eternity. So that's why Kieran Prescott plays in 25 and there's no number 1 shirt. And that was in memory of Scott Stevenson. But yeah, RAF, I mean, it's pretty even Stevens so far. Sam Roberts there with the carry. There you go. He matches the height and size of some of the Navy players.
He does. He's a big boy. He's probably one of the players that you'd expect to mix it.
Oh, lovely take, Chambers.
Yeah, I mean, on cue, Mr. Dependable. No, it's really good. Rocco. So what you'll see here is the big boys in the middle have done a lot of work in defence. So the flair players from out wide will come in and try and do a bit of work. It's really important also to mention Broadley Lee Butler. Brody
he had a great season last year.
Really good season last year. Played incredibly well against the RAF in the Challenge Cup. And he's probably going to want to make a point here as well. That's a good hit.
I don't know how you get up after it. I don't know how you get up after that.
Well, you get up because you want to show them that it hasn't hurt.
No.
But it does hurt.
But Ben Taylor, Mr. Cool there in the middle.
Yeah.
Prescott again with his fancy footwork, which we've come to love out here on a rugby league pitch.
So if I'm the RAF now, I'll probably want to just complete. They haven't completed much. They need to complete. They need to get quick play of the ball. They need to kick deep. They need to get some territory.
Harrison Ray there with the ball. He just got up. He is a debutant, so new in for the RAF. In the second row there.
Sam Roberts, two really big hits, taking it through the middle. If I'm the Navy, I'm looking to probably hit him hard, make sure that he knows that we're there. He's quite hungry, which is really good. He's just taken the ball up and he's there again outside, waiting for it again. And this is a good
lovely
play.
That's lovely
a really
pass.
good play.
Yeah, so you kind of saying they're almost feeling each other out at the minute, kind of seeing where the gaps are. And
yeah, they are. What they'll try and do is they'll try and work to a channel. So we'll break the pitch down into the middle, the right or the left. They'll work into a channel. They see how much purchase they can get through the middle, and then they'll try and spread it out a little bit wide. That's a good penalty there. They'll put a bit of footwork on, like you've just seen there, to get a good play of the ball. They'll try and pull it away. They'll move out the channel and chest an edge, and they might come back to that same channel. What you're saying to the guys who've just defended is you can have a rest for one, and then you're coming back to them.
Right.
Let them think that they're getting a rest and go back and try and surprise them.
So a lot of metres gained there by the Royal Navy as they play here. We are scoreless currently in this first senior men's opening fixture of the Inter-Services Rugby League. And as I said earlier, we've had 2 earlier games. The Royal Navy won the Academy game 28-12, and the RAF women just about, despite a late Navy fight back, won 22-18. And the Royal Navy women were 14-0 up in the first half, but the RAF came back with some strengths. Wow, he's absolutely sliced now.
I'm not sure.
No one seemed to be.
For a second there, I thought, yeah, that's a really good move. But what's happened is, accidentally, he's impeded. He's blocked the tackler.
Right.
you don't get through the RAF defence
No, that
that
was
easy.
a very, very
Yeah.
clean slice.
Yeah.
But yeah, just almost went for a glory run, but it's back in Air Force colours.
The RAF are doing really well here. The Navy are putting a lot of big lads up the middle. The RAF are putting 2 or 3 into a tackle and really slowing them down. I just wonder how long that can continue, because it's hard. We'll see how they get on.
We did bring it up earlier. Obviously, the fixture last year in the inter-services, the Royal Navy won that 22-16, and there were 2 red cards in that game. So we know how feisty inter-services rugby league can be. And then, of course, they met again in the Challenge Cup earlier this year. The Royal Navy came away from that 28-22. And I remember watching that. I was at the Army game against Fryston Warriors, and it was like tit for tat.
It was.
There was no one who took a massive lead.
Challenge Cup's really strange. It's an odd time of year for inter-services rugby players.
It's cold.
Well, it's cold. Yeah, it's wet. We're not all that precious, but
no.
It's an odd time because your peak of the season is September.
Bradley there with a kick forward, but it's smothered by some Navy players. Sorry, carry on.
I hope Ben is okay. Is that Ben? Yeah, it's a really strange time of the year. You peak at September, and then you go away on operations, or you save up your leave to be able to do these games in September.
Gosh.
So it's always strange because
it's out of season, isn't it?
It's out of season, and the coaches have to use their favours wisely, and so they don't want to pull in all the players off ship and pull them back to the UK. So the game was close. It was tit for tat. The important thing was we won, but that wasn't the Navy side or the RAF side you'll see today.
Right, okay.
So it's always a strange one to use as a comparator.
They're better fitness-wise at the moment, and just sort of mindset.
Absolutely, yeah. They'll have played all season.
Yeah.
They'll have been together a lot longer, and they'll have every single player that they need out for these games.
And of course, it was only 2 years ago that Royal Navy made it to the 4th round, making history. It was the first time a military team had made it that far.
They're a special bunch of lads,
Band of brothers,
I think I got to the 3rd round at some. Yeah, I think we got to the 3rd round against Hunslet back in 2010, I think it was. But these guys went and did one better. They went to Dewsbury, I think it was. Was it Dewsbury?
They lost to the Batley Bulldogs.
Batley Bulldogs, that was it.
I think they beat York Acorn maybe in the round before that.
Batley are they're semi-professional, but they're proper players. They're full-time almost.
And they won 66.
It's different level altogether.
Yeah. But that's why you go that far in the rugby the Challenge Cup.
In so many ways, it's cliche saying that's the magic of the cup. It's why you do it.
Well, it's like the FA Cup. The way I
absolutely love it.
FA Cup Rugby League, fair to say.
Yeah, fair one. Yeah.
You've got those. I would guess the military teams are seen as the sort of minnows in a way. When you look at the big sides that obviously get to the final of the Challenge Cup. So.
The military sides are always a strange beast because they're not
unknown.
In so many ways they're not a club. They don't have a team every week. They don't have people who are members like a York Acorn or they're a representative side, and you don't really know what you're getting. And so one year, like the Navy did back then, they could go all the way to the 4th round?
4th round in 2022,
and catch a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it
great for us. I mean, I went to see Royal Navy. I think it was the following year. They went out in the 1st round to the North Wales Crusaders, Colwyn Bay.
Yeah.
That was a trip.
Yeah.
That was a
very
rugby
cold
league.
and wet and windy.
It wasn't just that. I think I felt like the heartland of. I mean, it's Wales, but it felt like the heartland of rugby league.
Yeah, North Wales is a strange concept. They pull a lot of people from from Merseyside, from Lancashire.
Yeah. No, it was an awakening, but I loved it. But unfortunately, Royal Navy lost. So Royal Navy then back in possession. Ben Taylor, their skipper, with the ball.
The Navy they'll want to get to a kick here. They'll take this, they'll soak it up. As long as they get to a kick and get some metres, they'll be happy. That's good, testing the edge. So what you see here, they'll try to spread it. They'll try to push them to the middle and see what they're like on the outside. unfortunately, it wasn't the best of passes.
Oh,
It's landed
yeah,
well.
He said it's clear.
He's away.
That's Dak. Oh, legs,
well done.
legs. Oh, that deserved to come off.
That deserved a try. Listen, if I'm Ben Taylor right now, speaking to him, I'd be saying well done. But you've got 6 tackles. Just take the tackle and we'll play off the back of the next one. That is probably nerves, maybe a little bit of naivety from Dax.
So Dax passing off to Gavin Duffy, but it wasn't the nicest of passes.
Wasn't the best, no. And if I was Duffy, I would have probably been saying to him, keep hold of it.
Yeah.
But
I know, one more leg lift and he would have been over.
White line fever. Cool.
So nearly a score, but we are still scoreless here at Burnaby Road in this opening men's inter-services fixture of 2024. And the RAF have got a lot of yardage to make up here, Richie, but we nearly had some Royal Navy flair.
Yeah, from the RAF, they'll just do what I was talking about earlier with the Navy. They'll want to complete. They want to get a good kick, pin the Navy back in the corner, and then try and keep them there.
We've got a really good crowd. We had a great crowd for the 2 games before, the academy game and the women's game, and it's quite split. We've got a lot of 50-50 split, so I'm never quite sure who. You'd think there'd be a bigger Navy crowd here, but I think there's a lot of RAF as well.
Yeah, you've got all the travelling teams.
Yeah,
so
they'll
stick around.
They're going to make
probably
some
have
noise.
a few drinks, and stick around. It's the same whenever we travel. We'll take everyone with us.
That's good.
It would be nice to see a lot more Navy here, but it's from a sport point of view, it's a strange time of the year. Everyone's kids have gone back to school.
Yeah.
It's kind of there's a pilgrimage of ex-players that come back every year, and I'm one of them, and we love it.
I saw Gaz Dunn earlier.
Yeah, Gaz Dunn. Yeah, really good player.
Can't keep you away, can you?
No.
So that is RAF player Christian Burns going off. He's limping. He's taken an injury to his right leg by the look of things. So we'll see whether he needs some treatment, and bringing on one of their subs.
Another big guy, very tall.
Swear the Weetabix they get these days.
It's the RAF, they get all the best food.
Well, you were saying the Navy, to be honest, were well built earlier, so. And we know from the Rob Burrows of this world that you don't have to be.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
You don't have to be tall. We've got Kieran Prescott's of this world.
Yeah, fair one.
I'm sticking up for the little people. The RAF then still scoreless here at Burnaby Road, and we are well past the first quarter.
Interesting one there from the RAF, kicking early and probably kicking to the wrong guy. Rocco is the last guy you kick directly to.
Right.
If I'm the RAF, if I'm in the RAF, I kick to grass. I find grass, make it harder for them to pick up and run back, and then go away and give a penalty away. This is if I'm Hutch right now, I'm saying we just need to calm down. You're getting numbers into the tackle, which is really good from the RAF, but you can't then give away a penalty like this.
When you were talking about Hutch earlier, my sort of memories of Hutch as a player, he was really softly spoken. He's like a gentle giant.
Yes.
But I imagine when he's on the pitch, a bit like Yorkshire Pros being a poet, but when you're on the pitch, they're absolute beasts.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very athletic, fit guy. He's sort of PTI by trade. Really hard to pin down as a defender, and could make you look silly if you tried to stamp some authority.
I just wonder we'll find out tonight. Wonder what Hutch is like as a coach, because he's got all that experience as a player. But I think he's. Oh, lovely take out there on the right, and that's the first score to the Royal Navy. The band of brothers have done what they promised to do and scored themselves a try. That was relatively easy after.
I mean, so what I'd say is really good from the Navy there is that they're confident to spreading it through 2 or 3 sets of hands like that close to the line is shows confidence. It shows a team that knows what its game plan is. It knows where its killer instinct is, and 2 Fijian wingers.
Yes.
That's what I was really a bit concerned why he didn't put it down straight away there, but
I know, it's like he was teasing.
Scores on the board, so that's fine for me. You were talking about Hutch earlier. Yeah, softly spoken guy, but he's got a lot of people around him as well that'll be supporting him. And Cy Ray, who's his fitness coach.
Yes.
Yeah, you know,
another
Cy's
great player.
Very good player, incredible kicker. Played combined services, won inter-services with the RAF. So it is really a team effort, and I think Cy's over there now talking to the lads. He'll be just calming them down, telling them to keep at it.
And I felt like that was coming from the Royal Navy because they missed the try here, which was a bit of a sitter in a way on the left-hand side. I felt like they certainly have been putting a bit more pressure on this half so far.
That was definitely a planned move. Unlucky with the kick there.
Not able to squeeze that one over. So just 4 points to the Band of Brothers, to the Royal Navy, and it is 4-0 to them in the opening quarter here at Burnaby Road. But really not much in it, one score.
Tight. I mean, it's to be expected. 20 minutes in, you might see a few substitutes coming on now. They might rotate the front rows. They might change around some of the forwards. This point between 20 and 40 minutes is always a strange one. It goes into a bit of a lull. Let's hope the Navy can keep the pressure on. The RAF are going to want to prove a point here. Hopefully the kickoff's a lot better. If I'm the RAF, I'm just saying pin them in the corner and keep them there.
Prescott then with the honours. Let's see if this is flat or deep. That's pretty deep, that one.
Good take.
Ooh.
Good take.
Great take. I mean, this is when it's danger time in a way for the Royal Navy, in that they might relax slightly. I'd hope they wouldn't. But the RAF will be looking to capitalise. Wow.
And so, as I was saying earlier, if you're the RAF, you want to just keep them in the corner, and keep them in the corner is, hit them with a hard tackle. But that one is probably a bit of a silly one. You don't want to be giving penalties away, and Hutch is going to be really annoyed at that one.
Yeah, so
this is an easy out.
Joit Tapua there, sporting a lovely moustache.
He's got a great tash.
Yeah, he really does.
His tackle technique was a little bit erratic.
Dubious.
There. Dubious, yeah.
And that's given the Royal Navy quite a lot of yardage right in front of us. The balls, and I'm afraid there are no ball boys in inter-services rugby, so...
Yeah, where's Dave Garner when you need him? Where's Beefy?
Call out for Dave Garner.
Where's Beefy?
But the Royal Navy having to retrieve that from the long grass.
They'll take the rest. They'll be all right.
Yes, exactly. Everyone's thankful for a breather. Tilly to the skipper.
It's a really impressive shape from the Royal Navy when I'm looking across the line. They've got everyone options at the front. They've got people out the back. They're spread right across the field as well. So as a defence, that's unlucky. That is really unlucky.
Is that for obstruction as well, or is that?
What he's saying is that he's knocked on. I think they weren't too sure of
who took the
double
pass.
unders.
Yeah.
Double unders. Usually, what you do is you go for the second man. The first man tried to take it.
Right.
But the Royal Navy, their shape, they've spread right across the field, and as a defence, when you're sat in your own 10 metres, 20 metres, that's really quite scary to see, because they're testing you.
Right.
What the Navy aren't doing is sticking in a really tight channel. They're making it hard, and I think that's why you saw Rocco score in the corner earlier.
Yeah, do you think that's because they've got that confidence in their Fijian wingers, maybe?
Well, it's the halfbacks, to be honest.
Right.
So it's the halfbacks to have a bit of confidence to spread it.
Because there's less emphasis on the pack in rugby league, isn't there? Because there's not there's no contested scrum, but there is an obvious sort of forwards and backs.
Yeah, there's definitely there's a definite difference. In league, what you see from your pack is they go through a lot more work. They go through in carrying the ball. They go through a lot more work.
Yes.
They they will carry a lot more than rugby union forwards.
Yes, of course.
And that's why they'll swap quite often. Scrums are obviously not as contested, still contested, but not as contested.
Yes.
But yeah, the guys in the middle will go through a lot of work in defence, because you'll see they'll spread to an edge and they'll come back to the middle.
Lovely little chip there.
Yeah, again, as I was saying earlier, I'd like to see the RAF just find some grass, make it harder for the Navy. It's on a plate to Rocco, you know.
Yeah, so that was a lovely chip, but actually they're ignoring the fact who's on the wing to take that ball.
It's backwards, that's fine. Yeah, if you go in for a kick in that position, you want your winger to compete,
yeah.
or you want to put it in, on the grass so that it's harder for Rocco to catch it and return.
Good to have a Rocco back in some form of rugby. Tilly there dancing out of a tackle.
So if you look at this shape now, the Navy have got 3 players in that outside channel, and the RAF had 1 defender. So it's a lot easier for the Navy to get to the edge and actually get meters. And this is what you're seeing; it'll jump at the space.
And again, good pick up.
Darren will be happy with that. It's complete. They've got through 6 tackles. They're in the 20. They're saying to the RAF, right, come at us.
Still 4-0 to the home team, the Royal Navy here, as the RAF captain Liam Bradley will kick the ball to touch. Bradley has really grown up through rugby league, hasn't he? Through RAF Rugby League, he's again another sort of softly spoken guy, but a terrier when he gets on the pitch.
Came in and barely said a word.
Yes.
in combined services.
Yeah.
Young guy.
Yeah.
Very, very quiet. But actually, when he came through as a young guy, he was dependable. You thought this guy's too quiet. He's not got it in him, and he turned it on, and he's been there ever since. And it's really good to see him still playing.
And captaining the side as well.
Yeah.
To have obviously grown in confidence and skill during his time.
A bit like Ben Taylor in so many ways.
Right.
Came in 2008, I think he did.
Gosh.
Barely said a word.
He must be ancient.
I think his body feels like that. Yeah.
I think he's just come back from deployment as well, Buck.
He has, yeah. He's been in California,
right.
actually.
Oh, that's not really deployment, is it?
Let's be honest. He's been in a hotel in California doing desert flying.
There's deployments and there's deployments.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's fresh back. So Prescott there with his dancing feet again.
Yeah, well there you go. Prescott's clever. When he
jumps
jumps from the dummy half like that, you've got to be on him.
The RAF then, not quite executing a clean pass there, but they've still got the ball. But they'll want their names on the scoreboard before we get to half time. We are nearly half an hour in.
Yeah, if you're the RAF and you've worked hard in this area, you get a penalty. I'd take the points, if I'm honest. I don't think they've got what it takes. They haven't really earned the right yet to score.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they're in this area and they get a penalty, if it was me, captain, I'd say take the points. Let's get on the scoreboard. Give us the ball back. But I know people who'll want to prove a point and want to score and get the 6. So Navy only on 4. If they score and they get the 6, it's a completely different team talk at half time.
Yeah.
Completely different.
But I feel like I often see this. I mean, you would have watched more rugby league than me, especially military rugby. They're almost still finding each other out, and then the tries may come in the second half. But you do get low scores, don't you? You do get low scores.
Yeah, I think actually the time that year I got sent off with Hutch, it was it was neck and neck all the way. I think there was 2 tries in the game,
right.
And we scored it right at the end. Sandy, one of our wingers, scored in the corner over there. We lifted the trophy, and it was a bit like this, tit for tat all game.
Yeah.
I just wonder if there's something in the tackle technique of the RAF there, because this is the second tackle that they've done the same technique. They've twisted them over the horizontal, and it's classed as a dangerous tackle.
Okay.
They're getting numbers into the tackle, but you've got to control them. So you watch this one here. The guy in the bottom has lifted the legs and driven them down. I think they'll be getting a warning.
Is it one of those tackle techniques where it's sort of borderline?
Yeah,
like you can get away with it. It's amazing.
Well, it's a strange one because the guy on the bottom, he's targeting the low half of the body. He expects the guy up top to get the ball and to control the tackle. If the guy up top hasn't really controlled it, the guy on the bottom's a bit more overzealous. That's exactly what happens, and that's what you've seen.
Can that come from desperation in that they're behind and they're just looking to make an impact?
Yeah, that could be the case. They're just wanting a big hit. Everyone wants to make a big hit and make a statement.
Well, we're playing on some beautiful pink skies here. South Coast is putting on the weather for us today. It's been a pretty warm afternoon here in Portsmouth. Normally we're treated to steam coming off rugby league players, but I don't think we'll see that today.
That's good work by Brodie at the edge. To see a second row this wide, it's really good. It shows that he's confident. It shows that the halfbacks have got a lot of confidence as well. You'll want to see Jake Tilley jump here.
Oh.
Not the best of kicks.
No.
So he's kicked. So he's kicked on the full and they've caught it.
Oh, yellow card here for the Royal Navy.
I'm really not sure
Sin
what's
bin.
that for.
That's Charlie Matheson, who will take some time out. Richie has just watched the replay. You're as bemused.
I'm not sure. I'll have to ask one of the guys at half time. Yeah, so he's kicked on the full. What you want to happen there is they catch it in front of the try line, so you can carry them over, and then it's a dropout. But he's caught it on the full. RAF get the ball back on the 20.
And they're a man up now.
And unfortunately, so yeah. But we saw the academy, win with I think 11 at one point earlier on.
Oh gosh, okay.
So hopefully.
I'm sorry, I was mid setup.
No.
Right, the RAF, if there's any time to capitalise, it would be now. I keep using that word, but you'd think a man down.
I'll say commentator's curse, so hopefully the RAF knock on.
Oh, actually, lovely take by the tall man there.
Yeah, they're pushing it a bit because they're on fourth tackle, now they're on fifth.
Yep.
They probably want to be in a better position than that.
Jack
So
Bartlett there in the middle.
They spread it a bit. No, they're going
Prescott through the middle, and that's going to be a score. That commentator's curse did not happen. That is a score for the RAF. Kieran Prescott absolutely slicing up the Navy defence, and it is even Stevens here in Burnaby Road. Don't look so disappointed, Richie. That was a lovely score.
It was really clear.
Kieran.
Listen, I'll give it to Kieran Prescott there.
He completely foxed them.
Yeah, when you when you go down a man in these positions, you're always worried about what's happening on the outside. There's a cliche saying in rugby league: everything begins and ends at the ruck. You should always defend from inside and out. If you watch James Tilley here, he's worried about what's going on outside him, so his body's turned.
Yeah.
And Prescott's
it's too late. Yeah.
And a really good attacker like Prescott will see that. Will see his hips are turned.
Yeah.
And he'll just step back inside.
And we know he's got the pace.
He's
and
got
it's
the pace, yeah.
an easy conversion. I say that. I hope that's not commentators for Luke Baird right in front of the post. Yeah. And the RAF are ahead 6-4 here at Burnaby Road, and we've got about 8 minutes left of this first half. Don't worry.
So Bams's team talk at half time is going to be completely different.
Well, you don't know. The Navy might score again.
Yeah, I mean, they may well do. Let's just hope what they do is try and tighten up. In attack, they're really spread out and they're wide. If I'm in the middle now as a defender, I'm saying close up and tighten up. We can always push out as a defence to the wing. Everything begins from the middle and goes out.
Yeah.
I'll say that because I was a prop and that's where I was always at. But it's true. You have to have confidence to allow somebody to have the outside shoulder, and the drift in defence will come. And I think that's where we got caught out.
But that was textbook, if a man's sin binned, That was textbook taking advantage, wasn't it?
It was. It came a lot as well from the tackle.
Yeah.
If you don't slow the player the ball down, you don't get your defence set.
Yeah.
And Prescott's clever. He jumps.
Yeah.
And he steps inside.
Yeah. (6-4) then. 4-6 I should say. Band of Brothers with the first score, but unable to convert.
That's a great hit. That's a great hit. This is what you want to see from your
holding,
team.
Yeah.
You know, let's see what they can do, and maybe just put them back on their backs.
A grubber kick there from Bradley. I'm not sure if he meant to do that.
Yeah, I think
didn't have much time on the ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure he had much time, or he was even meant to get that ball there.
The Navy then, a man down for the next few minutes, and they have let a score through, and it is 4-6 here, Burnaby Road. We've got just over 5 minutes left in this. Brody Butler there. Sorry, not Brody Butler. Nath Barker caught up in Navy arms.
If I'm the Navy now, I just want to complete. I want to pin them in the corner. I'd even take a scrum. I'd kick it into touch and just have a bit of a breather.
Oh, lovely intercept there by the Royal Air Force. But he's on his own, and he is pinned down.
I think everyone in the stands could see that coming, to be honest.
And Prescott's got the ball again.
Yeah, he's having a good game, Prescott.
But the Navy have...
Prescott's really, really hard to keep hold of.
Yes.
A bit like this guy.
Whoa!
But that's what you want from Brody. Good numbers in the tackle there by the Navy, putting 3 in. You know, slowing it down a little bit gives you middles time to get back on side and set.
Ooh, lovely bit of handling there from the RAF.
Yeah, it's kind of what you would expect. You'd expect the RAF to try and spread us now a little bit because we're down a man.
Down a man.
And you can see what they're trying to do here.
Bradley into, I think he probably meant that more for in the corner, and we've got, yeah.
Really good take.
Yeah. Again, straight into Fijian arms. The Royal Navy then looking.
Yeah, so you're starting to see now a couple of players being pulled off and substitutions coming on. The Navy are going to probably want to try and finish on a strong footing here.
Yeah, there is so much time left, even in this first round fixture.
I think that's Jack. Yeah, Jack Basher. Jack Basher's just come on for the Royal Navy.
We've got 3 Jacks on the Royal Navy replacement bench. And there's a Jack obviously playing as well. It's the little things that make me giggle.
I don't think I've ever called him Jack.
Oh, okay.
No.
The RAF then, 6-4 up here at Burnaby Road. The Navy first to score, but a man down and the RAF capitalised. And another reminder, I think it's a timely time to do it. The Royal Navy are going for 3 in a row, and of course they've got to get past the Army as well, but this for the last couple of years has been the fixture.
Yeah, when you play the RAF first, you've really got to turn it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to send a signal to the Army. You know, you want to say to them, we're coming for you, and look what we've just done to the RAF.
I would say the Army's. Oh, a lovely pass out here to the right. Joe Thresh there, down the ball to Prescott. Yeah, another.
Yeah, I'm just
hope for the best kick into
I'm
the
not sure
corner.
the RAF have actually got a kicking strategy, to be honest. I think they just find themselves on 5th tackle with the ball, and almost feel like they have to kick.
That looked a bit like a panic kick to me.
Yeah. Let's hope Rocco's okay here. We could do not to lose Rocco. I'd be okay with this if I'm a Navy player. Just take the sting out of the game, see out the last minute and a half, try and get to half time and get the man back on the pitch.
Yeah, that will actually. He's probably due back on just before the end of half time. Actually,
He's
10 minutes in the sin bin.
I think he's doing press ups and
Keep him
warm ups
warm.
over there. We'll be all right.
So Rocco down at the minute.
Kurasasa.
Kurasasa.
That's it.
Thank you for my Fijian translation.
Yeah, only because I've known him for so long. Yeah, Rocco Kurasasa.
Kurasasa.
Billy.
Billy?
I don't know where he gets that from. Billy.
Did he call himself Billy, or is that another
I think he also
military
gets.
nickname?
I think
that
he
doesn't
also
make
gets
sense?
Taff Rocco because it's. I don't know what the TV's
To
for it.
you.
To you.
I don't know.
Yeah. Taff Rocco.
I thought
There
Taff was if you were Welsh.
Taff's Welsh, yeah.
Honestly, the military
Military
really,
humour.
they play
There
with
you
my
go.
mind.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. He's up. He'll be all right. He's a bit precious. Rocco.
He's all right.
He's all right.
Precious. So the Royal Navy then, just a minute or so remaining in this half. We've had a few niggles. The women's game was a litany of injuries.
Right.
The RAF in the first half, I think they played for another 20 minutes. There were so many injuries. So, but it is a brutal game, and that's why we love it.
It's good to see the Renegades getting close, actually, like that. You know, for a long time they struggled to pull a side together, and then when they did, they struggled just on a completely different level to the others. The Army benefit from a lot of full-time women's players. But you know, they've done well to get a side out, and that score line is respectable. I know that they almost won it. I think there was a try disallowed.
Well, they were 14-0 up in the first half, but it's almost like they didn't have the legs for it. But yeah, we always say their time will come, and I think we're getting close.
Hope so. I think we're back up to full complement now.
I believe you're right. Yes.
Yeah.
So just a couple of minutes remaining. Our BFBS clock has gone to 40 minutes, so we're just in a little bit of injury time now. It is 4-6, the RAF lead here as we go into half-time. The Royal Navy scoring first, but going a man down, and the RAF came in and scored one of their own.
It's not the best kicks from the Navy there, but we'll take that. Really good hit.
Ooh.
That's Brownie.
High, bit high.
I think a bit of seconds, to be honest. Maybe a bit high. I think he watched the referee there put his hand to his ear. Yeah, high tackle. He put his hand to his ear and heard the touch judge come in and probably pinged him for a high tackle. But
Jules and Rose were discussing high tackles in rugby league earlier, because unlike rugby union, you're not going for their legs, you're going for to stop them passing the ball, aren't you? So
yeah, it's in so many ways it's a bit of an existential crisis for rugby league. You have to go high because you need to take the ball, but there's that very fine line between high tackle and hard and illegal, and rugby league is struggling to find that grey area at the moment.
Medium.
Yeah, happy medium. Yeah, but we'll take that. When you go high and you hit them hard, they'll knock on, and that's what the RAF have just done.
So Royal Navy ball in their shirts that did look pretty clean about half an hour ago, but
so if I'm the RAF now, I'd try and push in the scrum.
Right.
Talk about, you know, catch them off guard, contest them, have a go, see what happens. The Navy are going to want to get this out quite quickly and get some yards.
Teasing the defence there. But I would say fairly even game. Would you think that's a fair example of the first?
I'd agree. Even game. RAF, Navy probably had the better possession, to be honest. RAF when they've been in possession. Okay, we'll take that. He's ripped the ball according to the referee, and he's going to have a word.
Oh, he's Bradley's obviously had a word because he just chucked him the whistle. The referee just chucked the whistle, said, "You do it, mate."
I've never seen that from
No,
a
I've
referee.
never seen that before, but Bradley's got to be careful because he can yellow him.
Really?
For that.
To be honest, if the referee feels that passionate about it, he probably should have yelled at him.
I don't think he's going to get any Christmas cards from the ref.
There
we go,
I didn't
Bradley,
have
the man
any.
who-
I never had any Christmas cards from referees, so I wouldn't worry about that.
They're a breed unto themselves.
No, listen, we need them.
We do,
We don't
and
have a game without them.
I
And I wouldn't
don't want to do it.
I wouldn't do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
kudos to them. But
No, I actually think that's a really good reaction, but it surprises me because Bradley, I
don't
just
expect that from him.
No, not at all, but it's
true.
a little bit of chat back, obviously.
Yeah.
So, the Royal Navy in the ascendancy here.
I want the Navy can score here if they can get the wide passes, get them onto the edge, which we're doing.
Lovely take on the right-hand side there, and they're over.
It's almost
And
like
the Navy have done it. They've pulled it back before half-time. And the Banda brothers have scored.
hang on. I'm not
Richie
quite
Metcalf
sure.
saying no. Is he in touch? He must have been in touch. My apologies, I was getting too excited.
I'm not sure if he's knocked on or he was in touch.
I think, is that... I can't see, it was so far in the corner there.
I'm at a loss to what happened there. I think it looks almost like he's turned him and got him on his back, which I think, yeah, he has.
The ref's there.
Yeah, so you'll see when he's gone to score the try, the RAF player has done really well, and actually he's gone for the ball and used his momentum
right, and
to turn him on his back.
Right, so no score.
No score. Well done. Half time.
No score. The Navy have not scored, and it is now half time. So it's still 4 to the Royal Navy, and it is 6 to the Royal Air Force. Richie, just the reason that wasn't a score. I mean, I couldn't. The ref looked like it had been held up, but it's more that you're saying he turned his body and brought him into touch.
Well, essentially, the decision was held up. The referee has gone back to the dead ball line, which he will do. Generally, if he goes to the dead ball line and he's in a position to see whether it's a try, he'll look at both touch judges and ask them if there's anything that they need to come in with. When they've gone in for the Navy have gone in to score the try there, he's done exactly the right thing. They've spread it wide, they've gone onto the outside shoulder, he's used his inside arm to get over him, what you'd call overs. When he's gone to the ground, the Royal Air Force defenders done the right thing in wrestling. We do a lot of work in wrestling rooms, and he's used his momentum and turned him onto his back. And when he's ended up on his back, he's not took the ball down.
Absolutely.
And he's held up.
There we have it. So we were discussing just before half-time. It is pretty even Stevens, but given what's just happened, the RAF will probably go in the happier team in the first half.
Yeah, they will. They've gone up. They're winning the game. They've capitalised. I think there will be a word of warning from Hutch. Look what can happen when you switch off.
Yeah.
The Navy went through 3 players and spread it to the edge and almost scored a try.
Yeah.
And that's a warning sign for Hutch. He needs to make sure that the guys are tighter, that they're not found out on the edge like that. Maybe they need to press a bit harder in defence and not let the half-backs get the quick pass like that. So they'll be happy, but they'll be warned, definitely.
Yeah, so we're in for an exciting second half here at Burnaby Road. The score as it stands, the Navy Band of Brothers 4, the Royal Air Force 6. And we'll just leave you with a few exciting moments from BFBS Sport over the last year or so. As we take a quick break here at Burnaby Road, we'll see you for the second half.
Hello, I'm Julian Evans, and this is In Case You Missed It. RAF rugby star Amy Cockayne is set to earn her 76th cap for England this weekend as the Red Roses take on current world champions New Zealand at the Allianz Stadium. The flight lieutenant, who plays her club rugby for Leicester Tigers, will relish the prospect of packing down against the side that pipped England to World Cup glory in 2021. Meanwhile, Cocaine's Royal Air Force teammate Sarah Bonner will feature for Scotland in their clash with Fiji at the weekend. Odeon-based Bonner is part of the Scotland women's squad who will compete in the WXV2 tournament later in the month. Staying with rugby union, an Army player, Lauren Brooks, has returned to Harlequins women for this season. The Royal Engineer reservist quit Quins after 5 years to play for Ealing Trailfinders in last year's Allianz Premier 15s campaign. But the powerful back row forward has rejoined the London side and will be looking to make her mark in front of the Stoop faithful. The Royal Navy men's senior football team are through to the second round of the Hampshire Senior Cup after a 3-2 win over Alresford Town. Goals from Gary Hurd, Elliot Holmes and Jack Wright helped the Dark Blues to victory. The Navy made their tournament debut last season where they reached the quarter-finals. Elsewhere, new RAF women's football head coach Michelle Perkins enjoyed a winning start to her tenure. An early goal from Eden Marsh and a double from Lucy Farrow sealed a 3-0 win over Walsall at Cosford. The friendly fixture marked the end of trials week, with a number of new faces getting the chance to impress the new head coach.
At the end of the set of 6, but a great challenge opportunity for the Navy to take an early lead, and they are over. Well, that was a great bit of play there. An opportunity for the RAF that are going to go through for the try, and it is Will Lamont on his debut for the RAF has scored the try. Can they get this try? Can the RAF hold them off? Ball spread in field. Nice, lovely play from the Army. And surely it's going out onto the far side, and in there, number 5, in for the try. It is Uriah Ndolusala who has scored the try for the Army. He has levelled the match at 14-all.
Prescott to great run. What a run. Yeah. Wow.
Great football, and that there, if you really looked at that was a great carry from Kilner.
Yeah.
Found the floor, quick play the ball, good shape, well organised Royal Air Force team there, and the centre.
Not a bad option from Brown.
And that is brilliant stuff, and that is going to be a try for the
Army.
That is a wonderful try from Verese Corey. Ball goes out wide onto the right. This is a great run now from Ben Taylor, the captain, rather, from their number 9, from Tilly. Still going, the Navy. Oh, they're in for a try, and that is a fantastic third try for the Royal Navy. Silly, lovely grubber kick, and was he taken out? But Ben Chambers is over for the try again. Another try for Ben.
Well, they just don't give us enough of a half-time, do they, Richie? We've all been rushing about, getting some tang-fastics. But action underway here again at Burnaby Road. And I guess the Royal Navy and the Royal Air Force just couldn't wait to be at it again. And we're back to full complements on both sides, although Liam Bradley nearly lost his captaincy there. The referee is not his best friend at the minute. But we are back here, and just a reminder that it is Navy 4, the Royal Air Force 6. And just before half-time, the Royal Navy nearly scored their second try, but it was held up. So even Stevens here. Potentially RAF might be slightly G'd by what happened at the end of the first half, and of course they are ahead. But do not write off the Band of Brothers, especially when they're playing at home. Oh, lovely take.
Bounce of a rugby ball, very fortunate there for Rocco. They're obviously using Liam Bradley as a kicker. Not sure if it's the best option, but that was probably the best kick he's done.
Yep.
If I was the RAF there, I'd have wanted to finish and for the Navy to start in the 20, but they've completed, that's the main thing, and now the Navy need to complete and pin the RAF in the corner.
So what's your mate Darren at Bamford say to his boys at half-time? What would have words of encouragement or slightly more aggressive than that?
I caught up with Sean Houghton, Stretch, the assistant coach. He was the academy coach today. We'll see what the Navy can pull off here.
Oh, lovely hands there. Oh, but he's lost the ball.
That's
But
fine.
it went backwards. So still Navy possession. They've made quite a lot of metres there. Kick to the corner, and is Rocco there? Nope, taken by the RAF.
That's good. So it's a better kick there. You know, they've caught it outside of the try line, so the RAF have to run out in their own, what we call their red zone.
Yeah, they're not letting them get anywhere, are they?
No. So I caught up with Stretch at half time. The Navy they're happy that they're trying to spread the ball and you know, stretch the RAF defence, but perhaps they need to stretch, hit an edge, and keep working that edge.
Yep.
I think the Navy are a little bit gung-ho and try to stretch and then stretch back to the other side.
Okay.
As a defence, that's easy. You just stay in place. So the Navy just need to keep working whatever edge they hit to, and I think they'll find some holes. The RAF are starting to look quite tired. They haven't really changed their pack that much.
Spiralling kick there from the RAF. Oh. Dax
okay.
here.
Rocco will be okay. Rocco will be okay with that. That's fine. It's a play the ball, not a bad part of the field for the RAF. So that's fine.
Crowd are happy with that one. Well, the RAF compliment anyway.
I think the RAF Academy have
yes.
enjoyed themselves.
Yeah, they haven't given too many metres to the RAF, but of course it is their ball.
The RAF seem to be going up in ones. You know, there's not much push on the outside. By that I mean there's nobody going with them.
Right.
If you see push from another attacker, it's harder as a defender. And they're probably using the wrong options. You know, they're sending men back into where the defence is set up.
Yeah. I mean,
you know, there's a prime example.
Yep.
Whereas the Navy, what you saw earlier was they pushed wider.
Yeah.
The RAF seemed to want to go through the middle, and I just don't think you can do that to the Royal Navy.
But that can be part of a game plan in that maybe they don't have the speed on the wings. I don't know.
Could be. You know, they might think that they've got a bigger pack, which they have.
Yep.
We'll try and work them through the middle. It's just not working out for them just yet.
Oh, lovely
Great
sliding defence. Oh, He's still got it.
I mean, I think
thought
he's
he
got.
could pass the ball off.
I
but he's
honestly
still got
think
it.
he's got away with that.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm a bit of a pessimist, but I'd be saying to Brody, just keep hold of that and we'll play off the back.
Yeah.
But we'll take it.
Great yardage made there by the Royal Navy.
Yeah, well, the Navy lack in size, they make up for in footwork. You know, and if you put footwork late on the line against some of these big guys, you're gonna beat them.
Yeah, there's a lot more passing between. That's very simplistic, but Navy then barreling over and held up there on the line by the light blues. Don't worry, we haven't got an effects mic on the crowd.
Something about a Macam. Yeah, I think the Navy seem quite confident. They're quite confident to offload the pass.
Yeah, very, yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see. It's encouraging, but I think what needs to come is that the play the ball comes and you play off the back of it, because they've got the skill in the halfbacks to get to the wide men. They don't have to score all the time off offloads. But when you're down, you know, you're 2 points down and you're trying to reinforce yourself, then you do try things like that.
The Royal Navy then, who scored first, but then were a man down for we're not quite sure why, but we will get that clarified. And the RAF then capitalise on that, and they lead 6-4 as Bradley tries to find room out here on the left wing.
If you're Rocco and you're coming out and you're jumping out like that, you really need to make the tackles. They've got away with that one, I think.
Oh, drop. Dear. You want to see the look on Richie Metcalf's face.
It's compounding.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
He will not forget that in a hurry.
I think when Ben comes back on, but Taylor, when he comes back on, he's gonna try and make a statement here, and he'll be having a word with the lads and just say, look, this, you know, what are we? We're 47 minutes in. This game is by no means over, and it's not 2 minutes to go. So let's just relax a little bit. Let's work our way back into the game and earn the right to.
And it's
play
only
around.
2 points. I know it's easy for me to say,
Very,
but
very close. But sometimes as a player, you do get wrapped up in that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to turn around and just take a check on the scoreboard and go, okay, we're 2 down and we're holding them out.
I've been quite impressed by Cam Lees, who just was taken into the tackle there. Another when he gets to fast feet for the RAF.
Yeah, fast feet and a small lad, so he's gonna encourage those high tackles.
Find the holes as well.
He's going to find holes. He's going to get under. He's going to get under people's arms. We'll take
came
that.
off his foot.
We'll take that.
The Royal Navy back in possession.
So if I'm the Royal Navy right now, I'm just saying, give me the ball. Let me take it up. Let me slow this down. Let me calm down. Let's get to an exit. Let's put them back in the corner, and let's keep them there.
So if Buck is off the pitch, who sort of it's Brody Butler who steps up to.
But it won't just be Brody.
Yeah.
Brody's not the kind of guy to talk. He leads by example. What you see here, but it'll be the likes of James Tilley, Brownie, who's just taking the ball in right now. They'll be the older, wiser heads, just keeping everyone a little bit calmer and making sure that they lead by example. It's a good kick from halfback.
Yeah, because it's not to someone. Oh, under pressure there from the RAF.
I think he's going to get. Yeah, unfortunately, that was a. They called him for a high tackle. I can see why, but.
It was a great take under pressure, but he was then pinned by 3 Navy players, and they've been penalised for that.
So what you've seen there is the good and the bad side of Rocco.
Right.
You know, he's knocked on down here earlier on. He's gone for a big hit, and he probably didn't need to. He had 2 other guys with him.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm with him, I'm saying let's just make the tackle and drag him over, into the dead ball.
Right.
If he's dragged him over into the dead ball, they have to kick out. And instead he's gone for a big hit and given a penalty away.
It's
so
almost
you just need to have a word with him and tell him to calm a little bit.
Rush
of blood to the head. He's trying to make amends.
Yeah. So we're just waiting a bit while the RAF player gets seen to there in the corner. Cam Lees with ball in hand as the RAF will bring the ball back into play. It's a very dramatic setting, Burnaby Road. I don't know why, but it always reminds me of evening games in the cold. Not that it's that cold today, but I don't know why. There's something quite dramatic about it. I think it's because it hasn't got a stand on the other side. So
yeah, it's the backdrop. It's that that purple skyline that you always get at this time of year.
Yeah.
You always get it in the second. The first half's kind of dusk. It's not too hot.
Yeah.
For the Gingers, that was always great. And then in the second half,
did you get a warning today?
No, yeah. I wasn't too good on the Oz-Tours, but no, and then you come out in the second half and it's like this. There's not a breath of wind. The pitch is perfect. It's really, really special place to play rugby.
I can't believe that a cricket pitch and rugby are played on the same patch of grass, but there we go. Josh Caldwell there. Ooh,
that's a really good hit. So
huge hit.
I'm really impressed by that. I'm happy to see the A defender, the man who's in the middle, coming up and really making a statement. Make the RAF aware that they're not going to get away with this lightly.
And like you say, putting 3 on 1 as well.
Yeah. And he's knocked on, I think. Yeah.
Pressure then from the Royal Navy. The RAF feeling it a little bit here.
Ben Taylor's back on, so you should see probably, I think he might even come from the back. No, he's going up. He's going up front. Looks like how they're shaping up. They'll probably put a half back in loose forward and try and spread it wide.
Okay.
Yeah, James Tilley. So James Tilley at hooker will go to the back and spread it wide, and we'll see what they're like on the edge.
Rocco hanging menacingly out here on the wing. Tilley again.
I think the Navy will probably come back to the middle now and maybe hit Ben Taylor. Let's see.
There he is.
And I want to go left if I'm the Navy. Yeah.
Nearly another high elbow coming in there, but this is great possession from the Royal Navy.
It's good shape out right. Let's see.
And they've got the numbers. No, they've gone back in.
It's good defence by the RAF. Good defence by the RAF. They recognised there was a threat there. The shape was really good from the Royal Navy, and the RAF rushed. So it was a really pressured defence, and it made their attacker step back inside. So if I'm the RAF, I'd be saying well done to the lads. But good pressure, good work from the Navy. They've got back into the RAF's red zone, so I'd be happy with that as a Navy captain.
And now it's up to the RAF to get it out of their own half.
That is exactly what you want from the first
by
tackle.
The Royal Navy. Absolutely mullered.
Yes, love it. Love to see that.
Have you not thought about coaching, Richie?
Several times, and every single time thought, no. I did what I did. I had a really good time as a player. I was never one for personalities. I was quite straight talking, and I'm probably not the right type of personality for a coach. Let's put it that way.
That's why the refs don't send you Christmas cards.
Yeah.
Straight talking.
Yeah.
The RAF then still carrying out their set.
Fifth and last. They'll probably want to kick in the corner,
Yep.
but they
And
haven't.
that's gone straight into Navy hands. Duffy then for the Royal Navy.
So you see now the big guys have done their work, so the backs will get involved. You'll probably see Rocco come in and take a few carries.
Right.
Dax will probably come in as well and try and ease the burden on those big guys who've done all the tackling in the RAF's 20. Or you're Ben Taylor and you just take one anyway.
So Rocco back on his wing. As the Navy take it forward, it is still 4-6 here at Burnaby Road.
And it's 0 tackle.
A try apiece.
So the RAF have impeded it. They play the ball there. So the referee's given the Navy 6 more tackles, which is really good
another
to see.
set, yep. And they've got the space for it, so let's see if they can use it. Royal Navy desperately searching for that second try, having missed the opportunity at the end of the first half. And they've been using the wide channel really well. Bring it back into the middle here. Nearly another interception there.
Yeah, they are. It's called a knock-on. Yeah, that's fair enough. The RAF know that the Navy halfbacks are dangerous, so they're flying at them, and it's a good defensive tactic. They did it earlier on when the Navy had to step back inside. They recognised that the Navy have shaped up well outside, so they've pressured the halfback straight away. Looks like a bit of cramp.
Well, it's gone from a baking hot afternoon to a slightly chilly evening here.
Yeah, if I'm a prop forward, I'm quite happy that the water's come on right
Pardon?
now, to be honest. If I'm a prop forward for the Navy, I'm quite happy that the water's come on right now.
Bit of a breather. In the dark skies here in Portsmouth. And it was scrum. And put in for the Royal Air Force. Bradley then. I think they call this an attritional game, Richie. It's fairly evenly matched.
Yeah, being in plenty like this, it'll turn on a knife edge all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And it'll go one or two ways. It'll either be the floodgates are open and we'll keep going, or it's the clincher. It could be the game. You know, there could be somebody who comes up here and clinches the game, and they're the hero in the bar later on.
Yeah, I feel like there's just one more score.
Yeah.
But I don't know who's going to score it. I feel like there could just be one more score, but it's been entertaining even without the points on the board.
I like this guy, Cam Lees. He's getting to the
great.
line, and he's making people make choices. You know, he's keeping the ball in 2 hands.
And I love his pink boots. Oh, it's another drop for Duffy, but it's gone backwards.
Oh no, the referee
he's called it
knock
out.
on. Yeah.
No, it went forwards.
Yeah, I never could get away with pink boots, unfortunately. That's a prop. We would have
You're
been.
saying gingers can't get away with pink boots? Or just
Yeah, well, prop,
you have to be good to get away with
ginger
it.
and prop. Yeah, no, prop forward never wear pink boots. Never.
I mean, maybe they're orange, but they look pink from
Well,
here.
Tex has got some. Is it pink on his boots? Number 8 for the Navy. Is it pink or orange?
It's it's flashes, isn't it?
He'll get away with that though.
Yeah, it's
He's
flashes of
all right.
orange,
Yeah.
orangey pink, salmon, I think they call it. So still remains 4-6 here in Portsmouth in this opening round of inter-services action. We've had 2 games today already. The Royal Navy Academy beat the Royal Air Force Academy side 28-12, and then the RAF women beat the Royal Navy women 22-18. And of course, do join us next Sunday when we'll be up in Hull for the second round, which is Army-Navy fixtures, as Prescott has the ball again for the RAF. And the final weekend of action will be in Wakefield, where the Army take on the RAF. So 2-week break for the Light Blues. but the Navy will be back at it next weekend in Hull. You can see that all live here on the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel. But we are watching a very enthralling game of rugby league here in this first round. And I honestly couldn't tell you where the next score is going to come from. And we may be close here as the RAF are pummeled over the line. But no,
it's hard to see. I don't think.
I mean, no one can see if that's been held up or not.
Cam Lees is doing really well here. He's the general. He's pulling everyone around. You can see him now. He's the danger man for me. If I'm the Navy guys, I'm going after Cam Lees.
Yeah, the Royal Air Force have got some real powerhouses in that side. And I've been very impressed by Cam Lees. Bradley with a little grubber kick through, and he's going to take it himself! And the captain, Liam Bradley, has scored for the Royal Air Force. He's been doing those grubber kicks quite a lot this evening, but the light blues have gone ahead. It is 10-4 to the RAF. Bradley has done that quite. He's kicked forward. Look, we've said earlier that maybe he shouldn't be kicking, but little grubber kick then, and then I don't think he meant it for himself. But
no, I don't think he meant it for himself. I think what we were saying earlier was his kicks in the air were probably wrong.
Right.
His kicks on the ground. I mean that is, you don't get better than that. You know, the weighting of the kick. I'd question where the Navy fullback was on that, because generally you try and find the fullback coming and sweeping. But when the RAF get that close to the line, generally what happens is that the fullback will come into the line as a defender. And so maybe that's why the space was there.
Yeah.
There was no push outside from the RAF, so there didn't seem like there was an imminent threat from the centres. And I think if you watch it back, you actually see Bradley kick and look up and think there's nobody chasing this, and he goes himself.
I don't think he meant it for
I think
for
half of the Navy squad did the same. They looked for the guy from the outside to come and nobody was there.
Wow.
So I think it caught everyone by surprise. I don't think you should be giving Bradley that much time on the ball, because he can do that, and that's a good kick. And then all of a sudden we're 12-4.
12-4. Cam Lees with the conversion. The RAF in the ascendancy here. Excuse me, in the second half. Now I feel like there's not just going to be a score in it. You know, I think the Navy will get back into this. They're playing at home. They've obviously got a game plan which has worked, and they've just been unfortunate on a couple of occasions that hasn't quite come off. But a great score there for Liam Bradley.
Look, you take your chances, right? You know, he deserves to have scored that try. It was a great little kick. You take your chances. I don't think the RAF have had the possession enough for them to be in that lead, but they've taken the chances. The Navy have got close and get held up, or step inside and don't convert down the other end. So the RAF deserve to be where they're at. The Navy really now need to just regain control, and it can't come from offloads. It can't come from really wide passes. If I'm on, I'm going through the middle and I'm testing these big lads out, and I'm tiring them out because they're having an easy ride right now. If I'm honest, the RAF, the big guys, are having it easy.
So 4 points, plays 12 points here at Burnaby Road. The light blues are flying, and yes, that is a pun.
There's got to be a fine involved here somewhere.
But the Royal Navy, if we know anyone who's got resilience and the skill and the power, we know that it's this band of brothers who can get themselves back into a game, and they've shown that they can do that.
Yeah, the Challenge Cup was quite similar to this. It was tit for tat. The Navy went ahead, went behind, and came through at the end. It was actually, I think it was Charlie Mattison who yellow carded today, got the winning try down in Cranwell, or up in Cranwell.
Yeah.
So they've got form. They can do it.
Yeah.
They have to earn the right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know it's such an overused phrase, but back to basics. Don't try and win it now. Just play your game.
Yeah, and I'd hope James James Tilley now is saying that to the guys.
Yep.
As a hooker, he's extremely experienced. St Helens, he's been involved in Super League clubs. He's the kind of guy who you need to come in and really direct people round. At hooker, generally.
And the Navy have got in. They're going to go over for their second. Oh, the RAF are annoyed about that, but that was another opportune try by the Royal Navy. That came out of absolutely nothing, Richie.
I didn't see that coming. I'll take that all day long.
It was a penalty kick taken, and he just turned from the tackle wasn't made properly.
Yeah,
he turned in the tackle and was
poor
off.
defence. It's
very poor defence.
So it's the big guys I was talking about earlier. When they're tired, they make mistakes like this, and that's what you've seen. A prop forward, not controlling the ball. When you're in the tackle like that and you feel momentum through the tackle, you do try and twist and turn to find your front and get a quick play of the ball. When you twist like that, sometimes you break through, and that's
he looked
exactly
surprised.
what
He was like, "Oh, they haven't got me," and he went for it. And that's Tex who's gone over for that try for the Royal Navy.
It must be those boots.
And Tilley's going to go for the conversion.
It looks like Chambers hasn't come back on for the Navy, who would ordinarily be our kicker.
Yeah.
So.
It must be those boots. You're right.
Yeah, it's the boot.
12 points plays 8 here, and we'll see whether Tilley can add another 2 for the Royal Navy. Oh.
I mean, he's not a kicker.
He's not a kicker.
He's clearly not a kicker. I don't know. I don't know if he is, but yeah.
No, that was slightly to the right.
Yeah.
So the score remains 8 plays 12. But that will have given the Royal Navy exactly the boost they needed. Heads up. And the Air Force was, I want to use a rude word, but I won't. They were so annoyed by that.
Yeah.
Because that's basic stuff, missing a tackle.
You
basic.
You shouldn't, one-on-one like that, with your opposite number as well, you shouldn't be letting them break through like that.
Well, I was completely wrong when I said there'd only been one more score.
Yeah.
This is brilliant. You said the floodgates would open, and you were right.
Yeah.
So let's see what we have left. We are nearly 70 minutes into this game here at Burnaby Road. Tilley then.
Just checking that. I don't think it was Tex, actually. I think it
was.
was.
It not? I'm sorry.
Sean.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
My bad. Sean
McCurville. Unless they've got the same boots. No, it is Sean. It was Sean.
Oh,
yeah.
Apologies.
And there he is again. Yeah. There he is again, yeah. I know what. So what he's doing is he's coming into the scrum. And he's probably used as a runner out the back of the scrum. Oh, okay. Odd technique, but we had it.
Well, it was a lovely turn, whoever it was. Sean McCurville in. And he's buzzing, I think. The RAF winning the ball.
So what they're trying to do now, they recognise that they've got a bit of ascendancy. So they're trying to get a quick play of the ball. They've lost control. Sometimes you as a player, you know that you've got a quick play of the ball and you feel it. Sometimes you just need to stop and make sure that you've got control of the ball before you take that. And that's what they've done there. He's gone too fast. He's knocked it on.
Right.
It's good to see the Navy getting 3 men in the tackle.
Yep.
Getting them on the backs, slowing them down. Shows a bit of control, which is good. But the RAF are making some good yards here, which is what you want to do if you're coming back from a score down.
Yeah, so Ben Chambers hasn't really featured much.
Doesn't look like it. No, I think he went off after that injury in the first half. So It's a real shame because he's a game winner for us.
Yeah, and he's
kicked
got the legs as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got the legs, definitely. He's kicked the goals for us to clinch it in the past.
Cam Lees
big
again.
Loss.
That's a lovely deep ball taken there.
Yeah, well taken.
So the ref penalising the RAF there.
That's a let off. It's a let off for us, and we'll take that any day.
Royal Navy then seeking, they need another try to get level with the RAF. But I'm pretty sure the light blues will not let them get through that lightly. It's all to play for here at Burnaby Road.
Some good numbers
Oh,
here.
lovely, lovely. Oh, fumbled there by the Royal Navy. A fumble. That was a really fast ball.
I spoke too soon, I think. It just looked really good shape. They took the RAF to an edge on the right and went through 2 or 3 sets of hands, and the number of people coming on the ball at pace looked really good. And it's scary when you're a defender and you see that, and you have to turn your body and start running backwards. But unfortunately, it was a little bit too far in front, I think, and they knocked on.
So an RAF put in here at the scrum, and it'll be light blue ball again. Ooh.
He's a handful.
Dragging 2 players with him. And we're into the final 10 minutes of this game here, this first round match between the Royal Air Force and the Royal Navy. The first round, the first week of Inter-Services 2024 Rugby League. The Royal Navy men are seeking a 3rd consecutive title, but they'll need to do something in the next 10 minutes to make sure that that is still a thing after today. They face the Army next week in Hull.
You don't want to let that ball bounce, but that's well done in the end.
It was. But yes, that was a schoolboy error, I would say, Richie, to let it bounce, but it's worked for the Royal Navy and worked in their favour as they take it back up through the middle. And the RAF with using the 3-man defence now as well.
They're putting a lot of numbers in the tackle, but it's good because if you get a quick play of the ball like that, you get yards, because the 3rd man has to go back and get back on side.
Tilly doing it all. He can kick with his foot and he can run with the ball as well.
Haven't seen a lot of Brodie Lee Butler tonight, actually.
Right.
Generally speaking, he's kind of a talisman. Been very quiet.
Is there such a thing as manning someone and man-marking them out of a game? Or?
No, I just think that...
Oh. Went backwards.
So it's back to 1. A knock on. No. I think it's just that the strategy they've played, they've tried to spread it wider than him, and he just hasn't been involved. They've come to the right edge a lot, the Navy.
Yeah.
So they just haven't used him. Right centres, right side, second row are working a lot more.
Was it Brodie Lee Butler's try in last year's fixture that was phenomenal?
Yeah.
Because our cameraman Lewis ran alongside him.
Yeah.
And one of my friends said to me, "Do you have a mobile camera?" And I went, "No, that was an actual cameraman running along with a gimbal."
He's done well.
Yeah, it was.
I think that guy appeared.
I think that was Brodie's try. Well, it was one of the tries last year. It was brilliant. It's the most exercise Lewis had all year. Well done, Lewis. Yeah, Lewis Bartley and Julian Evans on cameras this evening. We've got Harry and James helping us with the technical stuff, so thank you to them. And obviously the likes of Richie Metcalf and Rose Dixon giving up their time with a mic in hand. We're very appreciative for your rugby league knowledge.
Thank you.
Because mine is limited, to say the least. But the RAF in possession and in the lead. 12-8 they lead here. And we're into the final 5 minutes here. Unless, of course, we've got a little bit of injury time to come up as well. Mickey Hoyle has commented, Army player. So
yeah.
we've got the opposition
Yeah, we know
watching.
Mickey. Yeah. Hi, Mickey.
He just said, should have taken the 2 points. It matters in these games. I'm not sure when he said that, but nice to see the military rugby league fraternity.
I said to you in the first half, if I was the RAF, I
would have taken. Yeah.
And it is true. You know,
he's agreeing with you. There you go.
In some way, yeah. I think what he's saying is that the Navy should have at some point. Yeah, it matters. You get the ball back. You know, you get a score on the board and you get the ball back, and they have to defend again. Yeah, it's a bit of maturity. But if you're the Navy in the first half, I would have felt like we were on the ascendancy. We were spreading the ball.
Yeah.
We were playing really well. So, yeah, hindsight's great, isn't it?
Well, they are within kicking distance at least of that try line. The Royal Navy still got it in play. Cam Lee's calling for his RAF colleagues over here
Rocco
on
is
the right wing.
on the line.
He's right on the line. And can they take it in this? Rocco. I can't see from here, sorry Richie.
Yeah, the pass. Rocco was hugging the line because you had to get to him, but the pass was behind him, unfortunately.
That needed a really clean pass.
It was a good offload. He did the right thing. He went across his man so that he got on the outside shoulder. The ball, an offload out the back of the hand's a hard thing to do. Rocco potentially probably overrun it, but then you're anticipating a good pass.
Yeah.
So you can't really give him too much stick.
I'm not giving any of these lads stick. Believe me.
I'll give him stick in the bar after. Don't worry about that.
A scrum then with an RAF put in, and the light blues are back with the ball.
RAF are just going to slow this right down now.
I mean, yes.
They'll slow the play, the balls down. They'll wind the cock down, and and they take the win. They're surrendering a lot as well in the tackles, so they're going down quite easily.
Okay.
Which is a good tactic. They're not quick to get up. They're doing everything right.
So this is the equivalent of playing possession, I guess.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
Prevent a Navy score.
There's no fight to play the ball.
Yeah.
They're just taking the time.
And presumably this will finish the set with a huge hoik downfield.
Yeah.
Like that.
Like that. And good chase.
And rocket in Rocco's hands. And the Navy really needs something special now. The clock is counting down. Can Dax provide it? That's 2 tackles. As we go into dying minutes of this game, it is 12 points to 8. And we know the Navy are capable, but the RAF was so disappointed with the 2 losses against the Royal Navy last year and in the Challenge Cup. And that's the fire that is getting them to the finish line here.
Yeah, again, RAF surrendering in the tackle, on their backs, no fight to turn over and get a quick play of the ball. They're doing the right thing. Good footwork there.
And it was a brilliant score by their captain, Liam Bradley, a solo effort that has made the difference here at Burnaby Road. The RAF in the dying minutes of this game ahead 12-8. Cam Lees then taking the ball into contact.
Yeah, he's had a cracking game.
Yeah. If we were giving out man and match, I'd be giving it to him. A deep kick by the RAF at the end of their set. And the Royal Navy could say this is probably their last chance.
Yeah, the Navy needs some magic here. They need somebody to step
They do.
up. Everybody's walking back. They're tired. They've put a lot of work in here. RAF defence is really tight. It's inside the 15 channel. That's a lifeline for the Navy. You want a really good kick, get it deep into their 20.
And the RAF players are just saying to each other, calm down.
Yeah.
We've got this.
Let's don't throw it away. There's one mistake here, and the Navy go up.
And a reminder, of course, it is only 4 points between them, so that would draw it, and the Navy would still have a conversion. But we are a long way from that at the minute, as Tilly passes it off, and it's coming out possibly to this right wing.
Really good shape.
Rocco there. Rocco again. It's behind him, and he didn't really have the legs there.
Oh, I'm not
Didn't
sure
have the
about
momentum,
that.
and he is taken off the field.
I'm not sure about that. I'd like to see that again, if I'm
Okay.
honest.
And his feet were off, and the RAF.
I'm not sure on that one, to be honest. It was good shape from the Navy, though. They've gone from one side to the other. The good thing about what the Navy have done there is they're going forward with the ball and they're holding the lines so that the defence has to drift on. It can't drift.
And I think they knew that they were trying to get it out wide, so they had it covered.
Yeah.
The Navy then, is that over for them? The Royal Air Force back with the ball and into their second tackle there, looking to complete their set, and it's all on the RAF terms at the minute. As Cam Lees takes it into contact. The RAF taking their time over it, because they've got that time to play with. They are 12-8 up here at Burnaby Road as we come to what must be the closing stages. Prescott with a massive kick into space, but Rocco has it, and he's going to use that speed of his, but three men are on him. And then Navy get another chance. And that's all they need, Richie. They just need a chance.
Yeah, they'll try and work a channel and spread it. Rocco's looking tired. People need to step up here.
Rocco actually looks like he needs some attention, so balls off. Oh, hands on hips from the Royal Navy.
Oh, that's it.
And they've called it, and the RAF have won. They have won here at Burnaby Road. They have beat the two-time reigning champions, the Royal Navy, 12 points to 8. And it's not over for the Royal Navy. They've still got a game against the Army, but they were looking for 3 consecutive titles, and the Light Blues have properly spoilt their party on their home ground. The RAF have won 12 to 8, and hands on hips. I mean, it says it all. Richie, I think I want to say, even-headed. I know your heart is with the Royal Navy, but did they let that slip through their hands?
Yes.
Or is it an RAF win?
Look, they went a man down, which was silly. There'll be questions asked about that. They didn't convert a try, which was a dead cert. They got held up, so that's a bit disappointing. But the RAF, they missed a kick. The RAF deserved to win. They played when they needed to, a structured game, and a moment of brilliance from Liam Bradley.
Yeah.
pat on the back. Like,
I know.
Really well done. That was a really good.
That
good
opened
play.
the floodgates, and I felt like that sort of, that kind of, I don't know, what's the word? They opened the floodgates, but also turned the game.
Yeah,
I mean,
what it did was it was kind of that validation from the RAF. They went, well, actually, we can do this.
Yeah.
You know, they'd been knocking on the door for a while, and Bradley had been trying to do the kicks, and then all of a sudden they went, well, actually, we can do this, and we can play now. And then you just saw a difference. Cam Lee's completely changed as a player after that. He had the confidence to run, and he was jinking in and out. The forward pack played a lot better. They were stronger. They were winning the front. They were slowing down the Navy's ball. They were pressuring in defence as well. When the Navy tried to spread, they were pushing, and they stopped Rocco twice. The halfbacks had to step in. They played well. Give it to them. They can do this, and it's always a potential banana skin for the Navy, the RAF first game.
Yeah, even though it's at home, and they're sort of in their peak in terms of fitness, and I'm disappointed for the Navy because we all know that on the day they can win, but in truth you can say exactly the same about the RAF, and that's been the case for a couple of years. I'm really pleased for Hutch, but and I'm really pleased for Liam Bradley because he's made such a big impact, and Cam Lee's getting the celebration of the crowd. We're going to go and hear from Liam Bradley in a minute. We'll just wait for the boys to sort themselves out on the pitch. But we're going to go and hear from the winning captain from tonight's match against the Royal Navy, and we're going to hear from Liam Bradley, and Jules Evans is with him now.
So you need to come away, so to get your interview. Go to travel 2.
Congratulations, Inter-Services Rugby League is always hard fought, and that was the case tonight. You must be delighted with that narrow victory, but it is a win.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at the end of the day how many you win by. You just need to get that win, sort of thing. And we dug deep there in the end. We put ourselves under the pump a little bit, but we came on through on top.
Looks like you were the hero. I know all of your teammates are as well, but it was you that scored that winning try this evening.
Yeah, it's nice to get over the line, but all them boys in the middle do all the hard work and stuff, and then hopefully those backs just finish it off. And that's what happened tonight.
This sets you up nicely for the game against the Army. You sit out next week's encounter, so you'll be sitting on with interest, watching what happens. What are you hoping from that game next week before you come back into the fray?
Yeah, we're lucky we get a week off, and hopefully our boys can rest up well, and we'll be firing for the week after. But yeah, we'll have a close eye on that game, see how the Army go, and we'll hopefully get some tips from it and play to their weaknesses.
Job half done. What are you going to say to your boys now?
Just unbelievable effort. That's all I asked for before the game started. 80 minutes of hard graft and effort, and that's what they give me tonight, and I love them boys.
You've beaten the defending champions. When it soaks in, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's a long time coming for us to get a win over them. They've done us a few times now, so to get that win tonight is unbelievable.
Congratulations. You get to lift some silverware now, but it's not the silverware you want. It's not the big prize, is it?
No, that's one done, and hopefully we'll do another in 2 weeks' time, and then we'll get the big crown.
Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Well, a delighted Liam Bradley, RAF captain there. For the score here was 12-8, and we called it attritional at times, Richie, but well deserving from Liam Bradley. I know we've given him a lot of plaudits during this game, but also in the context, I want to try and put my neutral hat on here, is that it's so good to see the ebbing and flowing of these teams in the men's division, and how it isn't the same every year. Of course, I would love to have seen the Royal Navy go 3 in a row, but you could see last year that the RAF really thought they deserved to win that, and the Challenge Cup was so close that actually this is like, the culmination of all that hard work.
Yeah, you could say that. I think that would definitely be part of the team talk. Let's make no bones about it. That would have been my team talk anyway. And then there's the added spice of them coming onto our home pitch and doing it. So there was a big scalp to take today, and that would have been huge motivation for them. And there's also some pressure from the Navy side, wanting to get that 3 in a row and defend your home turf. So maybe there was some of that playing on their minds as well. But yeah, look, they left too many points out on the park. They missed kicks. They didn't score tries. The RAF deserved to win. So well done to them. I hope they enjoyed the night out in Pompey.
And Richie's going to get back on the Navy bus and have a few words with a few people. But thank you so much for joining us tonight, Richie. Please do come back. I hope you've enjoyed it. And it is end of night here and end of 3 games we've had here at Temeraire, and the Royal Navy Academy beat the Royal Air Force Academy 28-12. The RAF women were 22-18 to the better, and of course here the RAF senior men have won. Oh, I've forgotten the score already. 12-8. And it's quite a low-scoring game, but it's fun. And do join us next Sunday when we'll be in Hull for Army Navy, and then the final weekend of action will be up in Wakefield. That's on the Saturday, and that is between the Army and the RAF. So join us again here on BFBS Forces News YouTube, and we'll see you in a week. I hope you've enjoyed. The reigning champions, men's champions, have been beaten.
Straight through and under the post, the Army hit back. And it's straight over for a try, early doors for the Navy. That ball goes out wide, it is going to be another try for the RAF.